This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
In the CCP justice system, the players are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: Team Security, who investigate crime, and R/Eve, who persecute the offenders. These are their stories. All right, what's up, everybody? It is Open Comms. We're all here. I'm Brisc. We also have Brisc, and Brisc is here, and also Brisc. How's it going?
Good.
I am Brisc Rubal.
I'm Brisc Rubal.
I'm Brisc Rubal. Welcome.
The Open Brisc Show.
Thank you, Chainsaw.
It's been a hell of a week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Shit doesn't hit this close to home, but like whatever. Anyways, welcome to Open Comms Special Victims Unit tonight. We will be talking about the headline news in just a little bit. We do want to open the night up though with just some normal Open Comms type stuff, and then we will get to the rest of it. But granted, we have a theme going tonight. We should have changed the background. We should have done something with the background.
We should have.
Like a prison cell or
No. But like,
The courtroom?
I don't know. We could have done something. I don't know. See, I feel like that's something we missed. Like, we were so busy working with all the little meme type stuff that like we didn't get to the background. But whatever. Nobody's freaking perfect. Certainly not us. Anyways, so Reed and Harmon contacted me the other day, and I do want to get this out there because of Jin's involvement and the fact we're not having an alliance tournament this year, and therefore player-run tournaments are all that much more important to those people who are in the tournament scene. Please just can you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, so I believe it's called Streamfleet Showdown Invitational, and this is the second one that's being run. So Jin Tan obviously running it, player-run tournament. The intent is to have it run on Thunderdome. It's 8 teams, so all 8 teams have already signed up, and they're actually pushing for this, like pushing out announcements in the matchups. So it actually airs next weekend, so I don't really have a ton to say because the teams are still finalizing their team comps. So what ends up happening is Jin Tan set up a bunch of rules, and some not so similar to the AT, but kind of different, is where players pick their ships and their comps, and then that's how the picks and bans work. So you ban a team comp and then you pick another team comp. So it kind of gives the viewers and the commentators a little bit more to work with. But it's 8 teams. I believe they do like a round. It's not round robin. The format's kind of confusing. So you have to win 2 matches and then you're in the finals or something along those lines. But we'll be talking about it more this weekend. I wish I actually had graphs and visuals. I don't know if the article.
I'm sorry if I missed it. I was reading some of the Twitch chat out there. Is it just this weekend or?
No, it is not this weekend. It's actually the 20th. So we have.
Is it just a 1 weekend thing?
No, there's 2 weekend.
Okay.
So we have, I believe it's like 8 rounds on the first weekend, and then I want to say like 6 more on the second weekend, which include the semifinals and the finals. So it's the 20th, the 27th. So that's a Saturday. I believe it's roughly around 2000 Eve time. Do you have the article, Dirk? I put it in the show notes. I don't know if you post.
Yep, I can throw it out there.
I want to say it's I was gonna say it's the 20. It's at 2000. Players are entering to win. I want to say it's just like generic prizes. So I think there's like ISK involved, maybe Plex, skins, all kind of contributed either from Jin Tan or from CCP. And then if you're a viewer, you can actually watch. And so they're intending to have the pick'ems option where you can like actually pick things. And I think you'd be able to enter a drawing then, as well as the fact that I actually get the responsibility of picking out prizes for folks. So you have the chance to actually win a lot of skins, and they're gonna be good skins because I know how to pick skins.
So much skin.
I know. Show's gonna have so much skin. So it's by the name, I don't know, I don't want to like call out the obvious, but Streamfleet's obviously running it, so it's either going to be on the Eve channel or the Streamfleet channel. Probably 99% the Streamfleet channel with CCP actually hosting it. So if you guys want to tune in there, if to be able to participate or watch, it's going to be a ton of fun. We have some old AT teams there. We also have some like fan favorites like Red vs. Blue and Stay Frosty. So if you are like kind of in the tournament scene or you want to get involved more, definitely watch and hang out, because from there, Jin I believe is still taking like folks trying to enter, because like obviously timing with this way this is doesn't work. He wants to run another one sometime this year. So if some of these teams can't continue, then if players want to try and participate, they can.
Yep. Now, and there were a couple of teams that like broke out like kind of late in the process, right? But then another couple teams like
they
were able to
really
get in
fast.
So.
I think I remember.
Yeah.
Was it Jin or was it Raiden that sent out the thing like, "Hey, we need 2 more"?
It was
teams?
Raiden.
It was Raiden, and then like literally
and it was like moments later,
an hour or
like,
2 later. Yeah, it was like, "Oh, we got it. Thanks, guys."
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of players are obviously really upset about the Alliance tournament. And so while this isn't the Alliance tournament, it still has an aspect of theory crafting and an aspect of like groups being able to team up from like a shared collective. Like we do have some Alliance tournament teams. So like we have like Red vs. Blue, we have a Brave team, we have Stay Frosty, and those are all obviously entities within Eve, as well as entities that don't really like follow the AT. Like they are just a bunch of players who all play together, so they're going to try to form together to make the best team, because then it's completely separate from Tranquility. But a lot of people have been dying for like a tournament type stuff, and Jin's actually being able to run this. And so this is kind of like, I want to say the first this year. We had probably had one earlier in the year, but I think this one really has more CCP support. And so we're hopefully trying to show CCP like, hey, players are really interested in tournaments, as well as the fact that a player can run these tournaments. So this one's being run by Jintan with some support from Streamfleet. I believe they're trying to do the Anger Games again this year. I believe his name is Soth, is really trying to actually push for that, as well as other player-run tournaments. I think there's like a 1v1 battleship tournament at some point this year. So players who are like dying for tournaments, like this is one of the things you can try and either watch or partake in. Obviously, you can't partake in this one now because the deadline's passed, but future ones.
And then
Dirk, you look really confused.
No.
Redskin,
I'm trying to. Good.
I'll just throw it out there. We're getting a bunch of subs. So like Dominark, Redskin Legend, Blastum, you as well, Seabass. And Raiden.
I missed some of the stuff.
And
Raiden. There was one out there and I missed it. I can't remember who said it now. Something about clip-on ties or whatever. No, as far as I know, none of these are clip-on ties.
No.
However, Drayden was happy to have selected the tie he selected because it was already tied.
Yeah, well, it's like this. I borrowed this stuff from my brother. I don't actually have professional dress stuff in my repertoire, but
what are they going to bury you in, Drayden?
Just the front of it.
Probably like a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
Denny's t-shirt.
No, I'll have a Denny's trucker hat
One of those
on,
t-shirts
probably.
with the tuxedo printed on the front.
Yeah. But no, it like my brother gave me the suit and he gave me a few ties and I was like, which one do I wear? Rain's like, that one. And I was like, cool, that one's already tied, so I can just slip it on and tighten it. Because otherwise I'd have to go find how do I tie a tie video.
And that's exactly what it was. Drayden sent a picture to us that had 3 ties laying on your bed or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
and he's like, which one should I wear? And, basically we're all like, oh, that one in the middle or whatever. And he's like, oh, good, it's already tied.
I was really 2 of them were already tied. The other one, the diamond one, was not. I was like, please not that one, please not that one.
One was my second pick, so you're lucky. Shit. I like the middle one.
Lucked out.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, let's see here. Oh, and by the way, I am gonna throw this out there because I threw it to a couple other people over in Talking in Stations and whatnot. This is the intro from tonight. In case you didn't see it, you can at least open it up and look at it later.
Before we move on, so for those who want to hear more about the tournament now, instead of me rambling on open comms, Jintan, moderator, Cyclo and myself are actually all doing a show Sunday at 2200 on, I believe, the CCP stream or the Streamfleet stream. So just keep an eye out around there. I'll tweet about it.
Sweet.
So come hang out.
In other news, we had the April release drop this past Tuesday. Then we've already talked about the things that were coming out and that whatnot. However, there were two things. Number one, the Kat Yasay monument commemorating the fact that he the player, she the character, made it to all the systems in EVE, including Joe Space, since CCP let him in there. That went up, and they were out there having a big kind of celebration and whatnot, and Signal Cartel was firing off fireworks and whatnot, and that was really quite big. This is in the Sasio system in the Forge, so like if you want to go check some shit out, there it is.
It's only like 5 jumps from Jita. I took the trip
it's like super
the
close.
other night.
It's a pretty.
Wednesday
I just saw the pictures that they posted, but it looks sweet.
It's pretty
It's,
cool. I
like
took
a
my
lot of the other
Astero
monuments
there,
are
and then
just
I went up
generic
and
buildings.
orbited
This is-
with the Astero that's orbiting it in our hand.
Yeah, it's
pretty
it's.
Oh, wait, hold on. That Astero is actually moving?
Yeah.
It's orbiting.
Oh, fucking, that's cool. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like part of the monument.
Yeah,
or,
you see
like,
you
fixed.
see the cloak silhouette of the Astero, and it's orbiting the star that's in her hand. It's pretty cool.
It's Lulu.
One of the other things that hey, what's up, Lula? One of the other things that happened, I guess, on that day, there was a issue with the release that day. Apparently, with dread damage, instead of, because remember they fixed, they did some shit
the
with
HOD dreads and Siege only
and whatnot. Yeah. So like the Siege module or whatever was only giving instead of 2 times damage or whatever the hell it was supposed to be, it was like giving 2% or some shit.
Oh shit.
Anyways, apparently,
Baited.
if you were one of those people that had heard about that, they did get that fixed. However, one of the things I learned about today that I didn't actually know is that there are stacking penalties now. That apparently the Siege module is the first, and then the damage mods actually stack after that or something. So there's kind of a buff, but with also a nerf, somewhat of a nerf, kind of built in. Instead of just the way it was, I think, before, which is like the Siege module gave this, and then like your first damage mod gave you 100%, your second damage mod gave you 87.5 or whatever the hell it is. Anyways, but that was a thing that I guess apparently some Dread pilots found out on like day one that, oh shit, what is this damage I'm doing? It ain't much. Shit happens, man. You know what I mean? You release things and it just doesn't work. Yeah.
Anything else broken with
I mean,
it?
that sounds like someone put a decimal in wrong or something when they were changing values.
It does sound like that, does it not?
I mean, because I mean, that's all really it. Well, I guess it's probably a little bit more to it than that to change stuff, but
Forgot to carry the 1.
yeah, well, because if it's supposed to be 2 times damage and it was doing 2%, that's a 2 decimal point error.
That sounds like somebody just typed in, it was like 100, and they're like, oh, we want 2 times, so 2 instead of 200, like 200% instead of 100%.
Maybe, yeah, that's what they did. They put the value in the variable, thinking it was an integer, and it was a percentage variable.
Anyways,
0 divided by 0 is still 0. Yeah.
The last little tidbit of information prior to getting into the deep dark news is that the 64-bit client is being delayed until the August 13th release. This was supposed to come out, I think, May, maybe June, I don't know. But it's being delayed. There are some issues with it or whatever, which is fine. We should all want this to come out nothing but freaking working right. So don't rush this. We've waited this long. We can wait a little longer,
Obviously, you want. I mean, if they know something's wrong with it, obviously fix it before you release it. Because waiting is better than having a half-assed thing.
This is not something that you want to half-ass.
It was right. It was the same thing.
This could really frag shit. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about these things.
Yeah,
but
well, it was like with the Falcon.
It sounds like you can frag it if you get like 59.5 bit or something.
The Falcon Heavy thing. It was supposed to launch Tuesday. They actually had to postpone it to Wednesday, and then they had to postpone it again to Thursday, and it's because of high atmospheric winds, and everyone was like, just launch it. It's like, no.
Dude,
Just chuck it up there. See what happens.
throw it.
And
if
they
you just
did,
launch it, it's
three
going
of
to
them
Just
explode.
hit the accelerator a
They
little
did
harder.
it right.
Now, I mean,
It was worth the wait.
so it's just, if it's not ready, it's not ready. Just wait.
But yeah, in case you didn't know, not as soon as what we thought, but whatever. Nothing ever is.
And that's fine, because it gives me more time to upgrade my hardware.
You don't have a 64-bit system?
I have a 64-bit system, but along with the 64-bit system, shortly after that, or eventually after that, they're going to DirectX 12, and I don't think the old toaster here is going to be able to run a Eve on high graphics with DirectX 12.
I think DirectX 12 is Windows 10 only, I think, isn't it?
Maybe.
But when they go to DirectX 12, I don't think that it requires DirectX 12. I think you can use DirectX 12, but I think they'll still allow 11.
Yeah, but I want to get the most out of the
gotcha.
machine, right?
I can throw the thing out there that says it's being delayed or whatever. There's just no point in me fucking doing that. Either take my word for it or don't. But CCP Darwin, I've got an image of something, and I'm not sure. This is from Reddit Eve, apparently. The move to 64-bit has surfaced a number of issues, mostly around memory management. The devs working on getting the 64-bit client ready are making good progress, but it makes sense to be as sure as possible that we've resolved these known issues fully before we put the new client in players' hands on tranquility. So yeah, that's at least word from them.
Should we do a shot?
Well, you know what? We're going to do a shot because the headline... What? Did you just do one or something? Oh. Well, we're going to do a shot. Tonight's shot saying of the night, no matter what we do a shot for, we have to say, his name is Brisc Rubal. That is our shot saying of the night. His name is Brisc Rubal.
Shots?
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
So, headline of the night. Came out Monday. Brisc Rubal removed from the CSM 13. This is from CCP. Says, with great disappointment that I bring you the following news. Brisc Rubal has been found to be sharing confidential information with a member of his alliance that was later used by another member of his alliance to conduct illicit in-game transactions. As a result, the following actions have been taken. Brisc has been removed from his role as a CSM 13 representative effective immediately and will not be able to run in future CSM elections. All his in-game accounts have been permanently banned from the game, which might make it hard to run for any fucking future CSM elections. Two other players involved in this incident have received a 1-year ban. All the illicit assets and IS gained from this incident have been confiscated. It goes on to say a bunch of other things that we will eventually get into more across this. This was Monday morning, I think about 11 a.m. or so Eastern Standard Time, which would have put it out there at around, I don't know, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Icelandic time, I think, UTC, Eve time or whatever. To have this kind of stuff come out on a Monday was shocking. Well, hold on. This entire fucking thing was shocking, to say the least. Yes, speak.
Yeah. No, I mean, do we want to talk about, like, the chat we had behind the scenes where we're all, like, hanging out on Monday? And Brisc was like, wait, what's happening? And then Dirk, you link him the dev blog, and we're all like, wait, what?
Exactly. About 15 minutes before this, okay? In full disclosure, about 15 minutes before this, Brisc says something to the effect of, I've been kicked off the CSM and banned. I'm sorry, I've been banned. I think he just said I've been
perma-banned.
Yeah. I'm sorry, because the notice that he would have gotten by that way would not have been related to his tenure on the CSM or anything. He's like, this has got to be a fucking joke. I'm trying to, whatever, it's like, and like, this is the open comms kind of like channel in Discord. Not like it's not like an open comms server, but like it's this channel that we have, with each other and whatnot. And like there's always a lot of like joking and fucking memeing and bullshitting and the kind of things that you would expect would be in like us talking to each other like at any given time and whatnot. And like it came across as he was joking, but it was because he was literally reading whatever he had just received from a GM, and not 15 minutes later, this particular particular thing, which I will link out in chat, hit the mainstream of the Eve world, you know, I don't know, however you fucking take it.
Now,
and then it was like, bro, this is fucking real. This is real as fuck.
Because this is different than, I mean, because there was a couple other CSM guys banned. What was the other guy that got
previous?
Noobman?
Noobman and various other people, but like they didn't come out as public as this. They didn't they just send them a thing like, "Hey, you're banned."
TCP has yet to say anything about Noobman publicly.
I would like us to. Okay, there have been other CSMs who have been banned for what we would consider to be NDA breaches. I'm sorry. There have been other CSMs who have had NDA breaches and something has happened to them. We will get into the details of that later and why this apparently differs in some extreme fucking way. But, yes. But we're all sitting there going, like, you know, you're fucking with us, Brisc. And he's like, no. And
I thought he was serious. I didn't take it as a joke, but it was... I was like, for what?
Yeah, like because I remember sitting at work kind of like taking a break and I was like checking my phone and I was like, Brisc was like, oh, I'm banned. And I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I was in the car. I almost pulled the fuck over.
Yeah, and then when someone, I think it was you, Dirk, when you linked the dev blog, I'm like, holy fuck, what? And just suddenly I could see all my Discord chats just going, what the
I wasn't driving
fuck?
at the time. I was at Dunkin' Donuts and I saw the and I saw the thing come across.
Yeah, I was at work and I don't get any reception in my building, so I had to stand by the front door for like 90 minutes to catch up.
Yeah. Monday and Tuesday, I was hacking up a lung, so I didn't catch up until Wednesday, and I got most of it on Wednesday.
So a bunch of shit went down. Around that time. I know personally that he was, you know, out there scrambling to figure out what the fuck was going on and all this kind of shit. And of course, you know, he's getting no answer from anybody. Nobody's taking his fucking calls. He's like, you know, Michael Avenatti and shit. And it's just like, you know, whatever. The
going on talking stations thing, but that is the weirdest thing. And I know that Brisc isn't the only one they've done this to. I think anyone that gets banned, they just kind of stonewall them at that point, like by just practice as CCP, which.
No, I mean, like, if you look at the guy who doxed Manic, he got an email, a lengthy email from Falcon after a while, but he still got tickets responded to and actual comments from the dev team. So it's inconsistent,
and because that's the weirdest thing, because almost any game company out there, if you get banned from it and you ask them, hey, why was I banned? They'll tell you exactly why.
I think it depends on the
Pants,
reaction
I wasn't driving. I was in line at Dunkin' Donuts. Well, I was in my car in line at Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. You know, like when I saw it, and then I just flipped it. I just copy pasted over to these guys.
Like that guy that doxed Manic went hard in the paint on every social media thing you could fucking think of, like Twitter. YouTube,
apparently
Facebook,
that's what
everywhere.
Brisc needs to do.
Well, to get an answer, I guess, but
no,
he started
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But,
I'm joking.
Yeah, he went on a talking stations thing.
Well, okay, and yes, and that, you know, and that's what I kind of wanted to explain a little bit of the background, you know, here while Brisc is out there kind of flailing around, right? Because like the initial you know side of this is that he was flailing around and first thought it was a joke, then like realized, holy shit, this is fucking serious. Boom, this is fucking official, and it's out on this right here. You know, and you know now he's beginning to take it way more fucking serious than he did in those first moments, I believe. You know. And Matterall being the newsman that he is, okay, is sitting there like you know DMing with me. Are you ready to go live? And I go, I can't, bro. I'm going into the freaking office. Okay, I'm like, look, why don't we wait until tomorrow? And he's like, I'm going into the office too. Forget it. Matterall turned the fuck around and went home. I'm sorry. I don't think he actually turned around and went home.
He went to work and did it from his work.
He did it from his office.
And he kind of did it from his office, and then like Astroalthi was involved in shit like that, and you know, and whatnot too. And Brisc came on a little while into it, you know, to declare basically, you know, his innocence and that he didn't know what was going on and, you know, all that kind of shit. Apparently at some point in that broadcast, okay, something clicked on in his head or gave him a moment of pause that maybe he thought he knew what it could be related to. But that was after because by this point nobody knows who the other two people are. It just says two other people, right? But by this point shit's beginning to filter in, and he gets to know who the other two people are, and he thinks he knows something. There's been a lot of speculation out there, and one of the things we're going to do tonight is not get into the speculation of what he leaked or what these other monkeys fucking transacted out there based on whatever information he supposedly got, okay? Because there's been a whole bunch of that fucking shit this week, and I'm sorry, we're only going to try and deal with the facts as we have them, not get into whether or not he tried to, get into the freaking Tech 2 ammo market because somebody leaked the thing about faction guns or some bullshit.
That thing
However,
is false, by the way.
once he learned who the other two were, I think in a moment of trying to realize what the possibilities might be, right? He said, I think I might know what this is, but I don't think that anybody out there should take that as, oh, I think I know what it is I fucking leaked information about, as much as trying to just, in the moment grasp what's going on and things like that. By the way, stipulation, I need to throw it the fuck out there. I'm obviously fucking biased because I've gotten to know this individual over the course of the last year plus.
Same.
Okay? So
Same.
Understand why I'm coming across with a bit of fucking skepticism about maybe the deep, dark facts of what we're reading into this particular article out here. So I'm just going to say that now. Y'all can call me a fucking white knight or whatever. I don't give a shit. But that's where that went. He was out there. He was talking for a while. We're all talking in a back channel. I'm sitting there before he even went on going, dude, what you need to do is you need to put a fucking statement out. You need to not be answering stuff out on Reddit. You need to not be answering stuff on the forums or wherever you have access to. You need to put one statement out and let that speak for you. And whatever you do, don't go on a talk show.
30 seconds later,
he's on a talk show.
I didn't even know, because I saw you just hold on, put a statement, and just chill. And then literally I see a at Brisc in the Discord. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's so funny too, because when Dirk is the voice of reason, something's really fucked up.
Right,
it's gone off the rails.
When Dirk's trying to advise you what to do, you've really
I'm
fucked
starting
up.
to get DMs from Raiden Harp. I'm starting to get DMs from CSM members. I'm starting to get DMs from people who are just tell him not to do this. I go, bro, you think I didn't just wake up drunk? I'm at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, that's I guessed immediately he was talking. It's like, you're like, get off of there. I'm like, is it TIS? Yes. But
yeah. So anyways, he went on there. He went on there, and then a few hours later, he did what I thought he should have. What I thought he should have been working on earlier, which was putting out an actual statement. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen out there. Fuck the ban. Fuck, he got removed from the CSM. The fact of the matter is that this thing says that he breached an agreement with a company, okay? And in the process of doing that was part of a conspiracy to benefit from something, okay? Knowing Brisc the way that I do, and knowing that his real name is out in the ether, okay, is out in the real world, this is about much more than, just whether or not, GigX got banned from a game, or this guy over here got banned from a video game or whatever, okay, or Noobman got, banned, or other CSM have gotten removed from the CSM. It's bigger than that. And that was the thing that I felt as though he needed to focus on in that moment. But
yeah.
so I don't know. Where you want to go?
Shots.
We'll do a shot, but
Well, we can do a shot in a second, but talk while everybody pours or something. Yeah, it's I don't want to be the only one talking, because I can fucking talk this shit to death.
I got distracted. My wife came down.
Well,
Hello, wife.
were you having sex or?
No, not yet.
No.
Does she like the suit and tie?
No, excuse me.
No, she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
LB, I have to say, if you dyed all of your hair white, you would kind of look like Julian Assange right now.
Very close.
Getting dragged out of the Ecuadorian fucking embassy.
Should I read Brisc's official statement? Like, you know, like in
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it after the shot.
All right, we'll do a shot. His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc
Rubal.
God, I hope I keep remembering that all night. Anyways, finally later on, he came out and he put this out. And he said, I received an email from a senior GM this morning informing me that I have been removed from the CSM and permanently banned from EVE Online for a breach of the CSM's non-disclosure agreement. The email provided no information regarding the allegations, charges, or evidence supporting such a ban. I am innocent of these allegations. I have not and would not violate the NDA signed after being elected to the CSM. I have not provided any proprietary information furnished by CCP to me as a CSM member to anyone. Immediately upon receipt of the email, I contacted CCP Dopamine and CCP Falcon to request information about the ban. As of the time of this writing, I have received no response from anyone at CCP in response to my repeated inquiries. The lack of communication, transparency, and due process, coupled with the rush to publicize my removal, is indefensible and damaging to my reputation. As an attorney and public figure in the United States, my ethics and reputation are regulated by a code of professional responsibility and statutory law, unlike CCP's opaque community team. As a licensed attorney for nearly a decade, I have never had a complaint filed against me. I have served in positions of public trust in the United States government and have never had a complaint filed against me. The claims that I would risk my reputation by providing proprietary or otherwise confidential information to members of my own alliance for personal gain are false. These baseless charges have had an immediate and negative impact on not only my in-game reputation, but my out-of-game reputation. I have spent the last year working hard on behalf of the community that elected me to represent their interests to CCP. I have done so diligently, attending more than 95% of all meetings and conference calls that have taken place. There is no reason why I would jeopardize all of that by violating my word, putting my reputation on the line, and risking all of this to provide a fellow player with an unfair advantage in the game. In addition to me, 2 of my fellow alliance mates, both of whom are very senior in our alliance, have received 1-year bans. These 2 players, Pandoralica and Darkshines, are the senior strategic FCs and the backbone of one of the largest alliances in the game. Their bans are wrong and a travesty. I'm sorry. Wait a second, hold on. Their bans are wrong and a travesty. Neither of them received any information from me, and any actions they took in game with their own accounts or money was based on their own decisions and not based on any CSM-related leaks. They do not deserve to be banned from the game, even for a year, and I strongly urge CCP to reverse these bans, not only for the sake of those 2 players, but for all of the players who rely upon them. I will fight these false allegations, restore my reputation, and seek all avenues of recourse available to me for these reckless actions. Thank you to all of those who have reached out to me, and to all of those players who put their faith in me.
I mean,
I'm going to be honest. That is exactly what I wanted him to write 5 hours earlier. Like before going on anything. Number one, you don't go on anything. You don't go on anything. All day long, I'm calling him Brisc Avenatti. It's like, motherfucker, don't get in front of a camera. Stop it.
Like, none of us knew the reference, I don't think, because you had to explain it. You're like, but it's kind of I mean, this is the one thing, like, you know, in any kind of like other, I mean, take it out of this is something that like councils and stuff would be like, don't talk to the press, don't talk to anyone, just
don't talk to the cops, shut the fuck up, Friday. Like, be quiet.
You have the right to remain silent.
You guys are making it sound like he got arrested.
Anything you say,
I'm not saying he got arrested, but I'm just saying, like,
you.
it's when you're accused of doing something, of wrongdoing.
Yeah, you keep your mouth shut.
In a public nature, whether it's video game or anything else, it's probably good until things get figured out. You don't just go, you know, out to all the media.
No, Sikander, we did not disinvite him from the show. However, if he had chosen to come on tonight, I would have told him to get the fuck out, because I would have felt as though it was not appropriate for him to you know, be out in public on this fucking show.
This would probably be the worst venue for him to have any kind of
and
say.
The reason for that, okay, is because of the abuse of his real life name and what is taking place out in the real world related to this entire story. This would not be the venue for him to be on. So, you know, again, you know, I'm cognizant of these things, and I'm not the freaking person you think I am, like in an hour or two or whatever. You know, it's like I think about these things because they look, for most players out there, when something goes on, even with somebody who maybe threatens another player and all it is a character name that's out there and shit like that, right? It's a character name and whatnot. There are some people like us who are on this show who have their face out there. So when we make a mistake, it's not just the character name Dirk McGurk. It's the face of what apparently is a real fucking person that might be able to get linked up out there. In Brisc's case, it is also his real name. And yes, Brisc, you were fucking stupid for allowing that linkage to ever freaking happen. Okay, but once the shit went down, it was like, you know, these are things that, like, you know, have to be thought of. And I'm sorry for anybody out there who thought I was talking too much with that. I was reading something. That was
Brisc's statement on Reddit.
And yeah, holy shit, I totally didn't fuck up much of that at all.
No, and I was gonna say, if I can jump in, like, a lot of us, like, so we've obviously all got to know him over the past year on Open Comms, both in the public eye on these shows, as well as behind the scenes, and then at places like Vegas. So we support him as a human being, but I will say that if he actually leaks something, like, he is probably dead to me. Well, not dead to me, but, like, I'm not gonna support his shit. I'm not gonna support his shit. Like, if you're gonna leak something, because, like, I'm under some NDAs. I've seen the way people act under NDAs. Just don't leak. It's simple. You just don't talk about it. You just don't share.
Agreed.
Or, like, yeah, it's simple stuff.
Can we all agree on this show? Can we all agree on this show? Okay, that we think something happened.
I don't think allegations would come out of nothing.
I don't know.
CCP would not have taken this action if they didn't have some evidence.
CCP should not have taken this action if they did not have something. And knowing CCP's internal stuff, especially because, like, I as a player have attempted to report someone else on non-in-game things, and I said, hey, here's some evidence. Like, CCP is very particular about the evidence they use. So knowing that, I'm like torn, because I'm like, okay, CCP's process that I have seen has been pretty solid. But at the same time, I don't think Brisc is out there trying to play the fucking market, because you have to be really fucking stupid to do that.
I don't think he's trying to trade favors in that way, right? Like, but I do believe that something happened. And
I mean, obviously CCP thinks he did something, and they have something they looked at that made them pretty confident that he did it. We don't know what that is.
Yeah, but I think the question is,
we'll never know.
And
we'll never know.
I think I'm of the standpoint. I think. Oh, go ahead, Medic.
Sorry, I was just gonna say the point. I think the question is that everybody's asking is whether or not he did this maliciously or intentionally, and I personally don't think that's the case. Brisc doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Because let's look back just a little bit, okay, about people who intentionally did something, right? As far as we know, Manny intentionally put out there leaked information about capital changes. As far as we know, okay, Noobman put out there leaked information about the roadmap intentionally, okay? Yeah. And we can get into the stories that are associated with those things, but they were about being intentional. Now, when you read this particular disclosure, but from CCP, okay, it reads as though because of what he did, a conspiracy occurred in order to do these things. Now, whether that is linking Brisc to the conspiracy or just to some sort of release of NDA, some sort of confidential breach, okay? And I don't want to get into the freaking legal thing out there with you Texas lawyers, okay, about whether or not I'm using the word breach and all that kind of fucking shit and whatnot. It's like, we don't know. All we have is what we have to go by.
And additionally, a lot of people are talking about, like, intent does not matter for NDA breach, and I'm aligned with that. I agree with that. But at the same token, it determines, like, how you judge a person by their character. Like, somebody fucking up because they accidentally leak something versus somebody being malicious with their intentions and trying to go behind their back and betray trust, right? Like, everyone fucks up in life. Like, people just let shit slip. Like, sometimes it's really bad where it's like an NDA leak, or you leak something at work, or like about patients or your clients, and that shit's really bad. Yeah, you should have punishment. But that doesn't mean you're a piece of shit human being.
It's the Fox. No, look. Leaking is leaking if what you're saying is that all things are equal. All deaths by somebody out there are equal. But we know that that's not the case. We also know that intentional leaks versus unintentional, that somebody picks up on something and doesn't. These are different. I'm not saying because there are two penalties involved here, right? Removal from the CSM and then permaban, right? Let's separate these two kinds of things just for a moment. No matter what, if he allowed any form of confidential information in one way or another to get out, absolutely fucking removed from the CSM post haste, right? Now we get into the whole ban thing, and now you have to put in there kind of these other factors, right? Was he involved with the other thing? Was he involved with the conspiracy to gain illicit advantage, or whatever the hell it is they call things, whatever. All we know is that CCP did this, right? That's all we know. I think some of us can sit there and get behind part of it and say, we do believe CCP and, that something happened here. What we can't get behind necessarily is whether or not we hold full credence to, wow, this was like max penalty level shit.
This was,
there's not a max penalty beyond.
I'm wondering if they were making a statement because of the whole recent, not reinstatement of the CSM, but more of like they're trying to, because there's a lot of faith falling off CSM. And now they're trying to bring it back to prominence. And then if something like this happens, I wonder if they're just trying to have a hardcore scapegoat to throw a heavy penalty on, to just be like, see, no, zero tolerance.
Well, like a zero tolerance policy,
so
right?
Right.
I'm wondering if
and I think the dichotomy. Wait, the dichotomy we see this is where we know Brisc from a personal side, where this is the ultimate punishment in Eve, that the personality doesn't fit the punishment to us.
That's right.
So that's where I stand.
Well, and the severity of the punishment kind of implies the level of transgression. Like a permaban. So Brisc had multiple accounts. We know he dumped a lot of money into the game. He's a whale, self-admittedly. So to permaban somebody who's put so much into the game, that implies that what he did leak was a big fucking deal.
Well, okay, so to bring that in before I want 7,000, he's like, it's an old joke. CCP is only one C away from CCCP.
Yeah,
old joke.
Anyway,
yeah.
So when it comes, okay, so with that whole the Plex thing, so obviously he's bought all that Plex very recently. He put it on the market because he was trying to help stem the spiking of the Plex market. You can't do that single-handedly, but the thing is if he sold all that Plex, he's sitting on a treasure trove of cash. I don't see him needing to be part of some conspiracy to make any extra cash as well. So I have a hard time. I don't know. It's still speculation, but it's I have a hard time seeing him as being some mastermind behind something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he was in it for the.
We just don't do it, And
I mean, if there was a leak,
we can't see that.
That's also the best way to get caught,
I feel
by the way.
If there was a leak,
CCP watches CSM accounts very carefully, so...
Yeah, it was probably...
If he did it on his main account.
If it was unintentional...
Right. All right, so we're getting off the track.
Yeah. Let's not get into speculation of that kind of thing out there, right? Yeah. So look, yes, I get that we are... I do want to back up here just a second, because when I asked you all whether or not you thought, do you think that something happened here? Okay, something... in terms of the breach side of the equation, right? I think we're all generally in agreement that something, happened out there that may have been the release of confidential information in some way based on how CCP sees it, right? That's fine, okay? The whole idea of the other thing, that's the part that doesn't fit for those of us who knew Brisc, that this would be the thing, and therefore the penalty side of it. But what I really want to kind of shift over to now is more along the lines of, sort of, why are we even talking about this? There are a number of occasions where people out there have been sanctioned for release of NDA information, and that was something that, as far as I can tell, is generally hearsay from portions of the community out there.
Like Newman. I don't know if Newman's ever come out publicly and said that he's been permabanned. And CCP 100% has not come out. But
By
everyone
the way, his name is
kind
Brisc
of
Rubal.
knows that.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, I mean,
his name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
Well, I'm trying to think if you're saying like it's blown up pretty big, but I mean, if you look at some of the other ones, like when Scion, the whole issue with Scion Kumitomo, that got pretty.
Nothing to do.
Was he banned though?
Nothing,
He wasn't
nothing,
banned though, was he?
nothing to do with Scion was banned. Nothing to do with NDA release.
name was
Let's
Brisc Rubal?
not bring other people in unless they're like actually,
in the same boat. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not even okay. My point is that
His name is Brisc Rubal.
my point is that okay, so the word on the street, right, was that Noobman was playing EVE Online and he was on the CSM. There is evidence out there that he sat there and said, "I am going to win EVE Online." This is in a tweet. I am going to win EVE Online. I'm going to finish out my term, and then I'm fucking done. And then all of a sudden, Noobman was just like gone, blown. Okay, and the word that came down, the word that came out there was that he had put out roadmap information and got banned for that. He didn't get removed from the CSM because he was already freaking done as far as I can recall from that, from that time. Okay. But that's what happened. But there's no announcement out there. Okay. Let's go back to Manfred Sidious in 2015. Manfred Sidious, 2015. Let me please read you the announcement of that individual's removal. Hi, everyone. I'm here to let you know today that we have removed Manfred Sidious from CSM 10. The reasoning for his removal will, of course, remain confidential between CCP and Manfred, and we would like to thank him for his contribution during his term with CSM 10. Love, CCP Lulu. Okay, not love CCP Lulu, but dash CCP Lulu. Yeah. That was it. That was all we had. There was a bunch of information out there, a bunch of speculation about whether or not he leaked capital changes on PL forums or wherever the hell it was that, that he did whatever. Okay, that was it. A bunch of people in the community chewed on it for a bit and it was gone. Here, we've got a full-blown, as far as EVE Online is concerned, New York Times headline, "Motherfucker dicked all you over and conspired with bitches in his fucking alliance." We were just slamming it all on the whole thing. Putin was in it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Honestly, if this entire thing had only been Brisc Rubal was removed from the CSM and has been banned from the game, the reasons are confidential. The community is like, what the fuck, Brisc? Jesus Christ, man, what the hell did you do?
They'd have to come to him, and it'd be up to him to release anything.
They gave a level of transparency that is like the Bob Barr fucking report, okay? 4 pages of something of a whole bunch of other shit out there, and this is why we're at where we are, because they fed the community a bit, the community took the fucking bait, and here we are.
Right.
Where I took the bait on this whole thing was the whole electronics and no electronics during the CSM summit. And Manic, you put out the best tweet ever on that shit. Oh my God, that's where I bit hard.
I missed
that
it.
one. The phones go in the bin.
I just make GIFs.
That was
It's a good one.
That was really high quality because it was funny, and a bunch of people out there probably totally fucking missed it. Missed the tweet, missed the GIF, and missed the actual understanding of what it was. And that's why you can go into each little paragraph of this particular release that has a bunch of information into it, depending on how you want to read it and things like that.
Right.
But the mere fact of the matter is this, okay? CCP decided at this point in time that this was going to be the individual that they were going to lay out there in summary form. Not in full, because they weren't giving any of us the details surrounding it, okay, like they did, say, with Summer Blink back in 2012 or whenever the hell that was, okay? There have been very few bans in EVE Online that have gotten the full write-up, let's say, or at least a summary of the full write-up that gave people out there the details, okay? This is certainly, I would have to say at this point in time, the biggest ever Maybe it's a signal. Maybe it is like trying to show people. But I think it's also something else. I think it is also something that was harmful to somebody's personal human being reputation, harmful to, you know, a lot of judgments that are being made about them as a person, not a fucking player, not whether or not GigX threatened to cut a motherfucker's hands off. Not because his Keepstar fucking died and he got fucking angry one night and said shit. But, like, honestly, this human being breached what is considered a legal contract, which has not been proven in court. Texas lawyers, I get that.
Bird lawyers.
Yeah, the Texas lawyers.
Yeah, bird
kind of
lawyers.
like
Gotta
a
consult
fucking
bird
joke.
lawyers.
Come on, you bird lawyers first.
There is so much wrong with this entire situation. I mean, like every goddamn aspect of this. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we have always on this show believed CCP. We've always sat there and said, oh, fucking this dude, yeah, oh, he real money traded? Fuck that guy. Oh, this guy did this? Fuck that guy. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Brisc did something. I don't know what exactly it was, and I don't trust that it was as severe as what this is being written, but fuck that guy. I want to be fuck that guy because I want to believe CCP. I want to believe that they went through the steps that they should have. But the rest of it, laying a motherfucker out to the world like that, that's wrong. Blatantly friggin' wrong. People can talk about transparency all they want to. Bullshit. Because you as a company need to know better, and you used to know better because the proof's in your past fucking missives out there. You always said, we don't talk about bans. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about that because that is personal. It was almost like HR level, kind of human resources level mentality. We don't talk about why somebody was released from the company. We only say they worked here from this time to this time because anything else we say, we might be held liable for.
All the other stuff should be between them and Brisc, like personal thing to him, like an email or something like that. I could see that. I would almost hope I wish they would do something like that. You know, give a little more details to the person that is actually in question. But yeah, because it's not only that, like, all this information that came out here, like, people took it and ran with it. You got articles in PC Gamer, but there was another gaming magazine. So, like, all this stuff, and they're more focused on his real life aspect as opposed to the player side. And that's the only reason they took it as articles, because that was the reason, that was the thing that would be clickbait, is like this real life connection that he has with the game. That's going to get clicks and links and reads on this story, and it literally throws his personal life under the bus.
Let's not get into the gaming press yet. Let's just talk about this particular release from CCP just for now, because that is a different subject, and I don't want to I don't want to mix the two because they've got their own things.
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of people are saying, like, I know a lot of people are asking for answers either from Brisc or from CCP.
Nope.
Frankly, it's literally no one's business. It is between CCP and it is between Brisc.
Not ours. Not those of us who are on here talking, and not those of you who are out there listening. Not
we can speculate,
our information.
We can gossip. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but it is none of your business. If any one of us, like here in the room or in chat, or anyone within Eve is banned, CCP generally will never ever talk about it. If I report someone for harassing me or threatening my real life, they're banned, and CCP does not discuss that with myself. They don't tell me if I do the report. They don't tell anyone except that single player that was banned. If they confiscate ISK because they think someone's RMTing, they don't discuss that with anyone except that player. And so I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but what about this? CCP needs to be transparent. They can be transparent to Brisc all they want, but that is not to us. We are never asking CCP to be like releasing that type of information. So
don't tell us.
Yeah, don't think that's what we're trying to get at. We're not talking about that. We're talking about CCP's terrible way of communicating this and throwing a fellow player under the bus, as well as giving into some of the speculation and the gossip that players can then do, as well as the fact that it seems as though to us, Brisc could be lying, granted, that they are not telling him anything either.
Always two sides to a story, and one's always the truth.
Well, hold on. There's a bunch of sides to a fucking story, usually, right?
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle here.
Yeah, there's minimum
Always.
3 sides.
And something like this, the truth is always in the middle, and we're not even speculating down that road either. We don't care what it was. Something happened. I think we all agree here, right? And that, yeah, it was somebody, a friend of ours. Everybody had a good relationship.
That's the
with him.
real crux of it. Is the affinity that a lot of people have for Brisc.
Hold on. And I don't want to lay it on something like affinity. Okay, like, oh, I like the guy, so therefore, because I like him, I'm going to believe him. I'm going to tell you right now. I'll throw the motherfucker right
I'm not
straight under
saying
the goddamn
I'm not
bus.
saying that.
Okay.
No.
If I was able to be shown the fucking facts that would prove it out, right? Like I would, because that's the way we've always done it. We believe, right? We believe that the investigation came up in a certain way, right? But in this particular case, if what you have is a company that is unwilling to actually tell the accused how exactly they broke the NDA, I'm sorry. If they're afraid to tell the accused how they actually broke the NDA, there's something fucking fishy. And I'm not saying that these people had it out for him. I'm saying that maybe there's some questionality about whether or not, that this was intentional, or that this, intentional leak led to this other thing over there, right? Like this particular thing that they released out there is the full freaking Monty. Like there's no bigger, unless he actually disclosed proprietary information about the company that then cost the company money. And now we're getting into real world type stuff where they could sue him based on the NDA for damages. There's no damages here. This is just bullshit in-game stuff. We have questions about this. And that's because we've gotten to know what his character is like, not because we have an affinity for him. I have an affinity for a lot of fucking people I don't trust.
That's terrible.
Well, no, I'm just saying I have an affinity for them from you're from a I totally have a fucking beer with them, but I wouldn't trust them with my wallet.
All I was saying is that I think the reason there's been so much discussion around this particular incident, because this isn't the first time that a CSM member has been banned. The reason there's so much discussion around this is because a lot of us know Brisc personally and we like him. There's plenty of people who don't like him, whatever. But especially on this show, we all like Brisc. So this incident kind of, like you said, Dirk, it hits close to home.
But that shouldn't be the reason. We like somebody shouldn't be the reason why we're willing to trust them. There should be something that's a bit deeper than that, right?
I'm not saying I trust him. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying that's the reason this discussion is going on for as long as it is.
An FC and an alliance leader, but I'm not going to sit there and be but I wouldn't trust him not to cut my hands off of all that, whatever. I mean, not my hands, but somebody's.
You'd trust him to cut off somebody else's hands, just not yours?
I mean, I would. No, I wouldn't even trust him to do that. But whatever. Anyways,
his name is Brisc Rubal.
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 You really caught me with nothing to say there, but whatever. Probably a good thing. His name is Brisc Rubal.
Post that meme that I sent you. I want to see it.
But
anyways,
chat.
Just like I asked you before after the first segment, do you believe that there's something here? Okay, let me ask you a question here. Do you believe that CCP's public disclosure at the level that they did of this particular incident was the right thing to do?
No.
Nope. There's too much over the top.
I mean, if it's a player that's not even on the CSM, you don't even have to publicly announce that they get banned. You're banned. Send them an email like, "Hey, you're banned." If they're on the CSM, I mean, you can't just have a CSM member disappear off the face of the earth and before the CSM term is finished.
That's right.
And without saying, so you got to say this person's been removed, they're banned. That's it. That's all you say publicly. And then personally, you should disclose to that person everything. I'm telling you, every other gaming company tells you why you've been banned. You can tell, like, you go to Riot. I've never been banned, but other people go there and they're like, why was my account banned? I never said anything. Actually, you did, and they'll like send you your chat log saying like you said this in this game. You dropped N-bombs at this guy.
Like,
it's
That's
like
super embarrassing.
CCP, they've communicated to people who have been banned for more egregious things than this. It confuses me why they've cut communication with Brisc entirely.
Well, it sounds like it's intermittent because there's like I don't know that many people, but it sounds like what Dirk was saying is like some people have been told why they were banned, privately, and then other people were not. So why do they have this inconsistent policy? Pick one or the other. Either don't say shit to anyone ever, or tell everyone that asks why they've been banned what they were banned for and what evidence that you got on them. Only tell them personally. Don't release it publicly because you can't do that.
Thing people have pointed out too, because I know when this whole debacle was going down on Monday, people were Brisc was banned, and then CCP didn't release the names of the other 2 people that were banned. So everyone was like, "Oh, who is it? Who is it?" It says Alliance Mate, so it has to be, you would assume, Initiative or whatever.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was McLeod from INN, but like
you're throwing him under the bus.
No, I am throwing McLeod under the bus right now.
Talking...
Just as a joke, but whatever.
But I remember talking to someone and I said, "Oh, I've heard the rumor is that it's Pando," and they're like, "No, Pando's logged in right now. I see him in local." And I was like, "Oh, okay, so it's not Pando." And then
blink.
And then an hour later he's banned. So like the fact that CCP bans Brisc, issues a statement, and then bans the other 2 people afterwards is like super inconsistent and super fucked up. Like, imagine you find out your friend's banned and other people are banned. You're like, "Oh wow, it's not me," and then suddenly you're banned. You're like, "Wait, why am I banned?" And it looks. And then
all of a sudden, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
And you're like, "Wait, am I banned because of this dev blog, or am I banned because like you're fucking up in some other way, in shape or form?" Like, I don't know, but like they're like. Communication overall, I think I was reading the chat and everyone was saying like they did not like the way CCP like communicated this, but not only that, but just the way they handled it and like their path of things of like banning players after announcing they were banned type situation is like super shitty.
Do you guys remember back when they were doing that whole fucking dropping botters into some fucking high-sec system and letting all kinds of people shoot people? Do you remember the conversation we had at the time about public executions and whether or not that is where we wanted to head with things, or is like, can you see a slippery slope associated with public executions? Now, personally, I am a big fan of public executions. If you are somebody who is into the whole fucking execution thing, you should have to watch somebody actually be executed and then decide whether or not you're still into the whole fucking execution thing. Like, you shouldn't just be able to do it remotely and from afar and stuff like that. But in that particular case, it was, are we going down a path?
It was beautiful.
Are we going down a path that is breaking CCP's past thing of we don't talk about who was banned, it just fucking happens based on our investigation and whatnot? And I'm going to bring that back to now where it's like, that's the way it's been for most of these things over time. They don't tell you why, it just happens, and it's all internal. They externalized this. And the problem with this particular one was that they externalized it on a person who was already externalized. Therefore, it was like super externalized.
Logarithmic.
And legitimately caused real world kind of repercussions.
And this is like the first time they tried to be as transparent as possible, but this really just fucking backfired. Unfortunately.
I was gonna say this was not transparent at all. I think it brought up more questions than
answers. I know they made a point out there, so
it was more transparent than they've been, but it was a vague statement, which could be taken a million different ways, and that's exactly what happened. But
I'm not gonna find it now.
I wonder, like, what caused them to decide to do this whole let's give all that extra stuff. I mean, was that like did they sit down and have a group decision, or was this just dopamine throwing it out there?
I don't know, but I mean,
I'm sure there's got to be some sort of hierarchy to somebody posting up a dev blog. Somebody's got to have a review process.
True.
No, Number one, I don't want anybody throwing Dopamine's name out there. Okay,
No.
related to this as though.
I was just saying his name was
Hold on a
on.
second. I know, but we're not going to call this the dopamine slaying of Brisc.
Yeah.
The way we shouldn't have done Fozzie Sov and things like that, right? We know that the person who writes it isn't necessarily the only person behind it. So let's
CCP
make sure
as
that
a
we
whole.
differentiate.
Yeah, he's just the. Yeah. Okay.
He was the writer of the thing.
Although I do kind of find it funny that they gave the fucking new guy the job of writing this one. Hold on.
Thank you, Falcon.
Talk about throwing him under the bus.
Hold on, because Dopamine is apparently the new liaison replacing guard to the CSM for CCP, right? But Falcon has been there through Lilu, guard, and now apparently Dopamine maybe is like the first person in the slot or whatever, but Falcon has been there during the whole thing, and the one motherfucking thing that Falcon doesn't write is this thing. Hey, fucking new guy, write this.
Falcon's probably like, fuck, dude. If I write this, it's gonna get put on me. I'm not fucking answering DMs. He's like, Dopamine, no one knows who you are. Quick, put it
That's
out.
the thing. Falcon's been there long enough. He knows what not to attach his name to and what to attach his name to.
Yeah.
And we're not going to call
What a good
this
manager
fucking
does,
Dopamine
man.
Gank or Dopamine ban or anything like, it's not going to be a
The
Fozzie
Dopamine
Sov level
edict.
shit. But so, hold on. Anominate wrote this: public executions are great when you can publicly release your entire case. They're not so great when your case cannot be made public. Abso-fucking-lutely, Anominate. I just wanted to go back and find the thing because I saw somebody respond to Anominate saying absolutely Anominate or whatever it was they said. Anyways, look, we want transparency from CCP related to their game. We want transparency from the CSM to show that the CSM are acting in a way that the voters out there wanted them, either wanted them to act or didn't want them to act or whatever it was, but so that the voters actually had a way of knowing, whether or not they're voting for the right person and things like that. And to give them credit for the things that they should be credited for and, debits for the things that they should be debited for, whatever. Okay. We want transparency in things, but you CCP as a company, okay, when you ban somebody, you probably shouldn't lay their fucking name out there. Okay, when you remove them from the CSM, yeah, there's probably something you do have to say. Just know that what you say, along with the fact that that person has been removed, actually matters in a lot of cases. If this had been Aerith, nobody knows Aerith. They don't even know his face. Okay, they don't know who some of these people are out there. And yes, I'm gonna do a fucking shot right now, okay? His name is Brisc Rubal, and he put his own fucking name out there.
It was a very poor choice.
It was a
poor
bad
choice by
decision.
him.
I'm hesitant to even put my first name to people at meets and stuff. It's like,
You guys say this,
when
but
you're
a lot of
CCP
players
putting this shit out there, it's like you gotta think about
a lot
some
of
of this
players
stuff.
do this though. Like a lot of you guys realize. So like, Eve doesn't have a very nice history to its players, but you have people like the Matani who freely puts his full name out there. At least Randolph fully puts his name out there. Lastel, who hasn't been on CSM and doesn't have a reason to put his name out there, puts his name out there. And I asked him once, I said, Laz, why is your Twitter like Lastel plus your full name? He goes, well, if I do this and I say my full name, it lets people know not to fuck with me or my real life. Because not only am I not afraid to put my name out there, but I show that that is okay and that people shouldn't be attempting to dox me because of my real name. And so CCP used to require players' full names to be on CSM, and when they stopped, CSM members were doxxed by the player base for this. I know Commander Ace told the story about he was doxxed. I know other people have been doxxed. Like, Eve is not a nice community, so whether you put your full name out there or not, don't give me that bullshit. So when he puts his name out there, eventually someone would have doxed him anyway. That would have been simply the case. Eve players can be fucking scummy. Not all of them. There are a few Eve players that are fucking scummy, and don't sit there and try to pinpoint alliances because it was all across Eve. I don't want to hear bullshit about you trying to pin it on one alliance or another. This was very common in Eve to dox players. So
Okay.
Brisc choosing to put his name out there, while you guys say it was a poor choice, and like, I'm not gonna put my name out there, but if people are gonna dox me, I'm not gonna be fucking surprised.
But you put your face out there, and it wouldn't surprise you if somebody was able to correlate the face with a name, depending on if something happened. Look. When I've done my fuck ups in this fucking game, okay, or I'm sorry, in this show, my fuck ups in the game are like, whatever. Nobody wants. When I've done my fuck ups on here, look, yes, people from back home fucking know, because I know fucking people from back there, and guess what? Fucking word got around when I fucking did it, because my face is out there, and therefore they're able to see it when a YouTube video goes out there and shit, right? Like, so like that fucking happens. That's bad enough. Brisc did his whole fucking name thing. I blame him. I do. I blame him on motherfucker. I blame you. Okay, I cast blame upon you. Okay, I cast blame upon you.
And I say,
and I just wanted to like do it like straight up to the screen because like I wanted somebody to clip that shit. Okay, but
order.
But for other people out
Blame
there,
fails,
for streamers and all that kind of shit and whatnot, just know that like your face as well, as well as your in-game, like it can get linked out there. Brisc fucked the fuck up by like actually putting it out there. But this is part and parcel to the reason why I don't think he intentionally did something, because somebody who does that and knows that their shit is 100% out on the field is not willing to fucking hit the quarterback right in the fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
That's not what they do. It doesn't make sense.
The juice
Therefore,
isn't worth
death
the squeeze in
penalty
this
and
case.
this kind of fucking disclosure are cock-sucking bullshit.
And
I'm not saying cock-sucking is bad, I'm just like whatever.
what do you got against
Whatever, I'm
sucking
just not
cocks,
like
Dirk?
It's
throwing it out.
2019, Dirk.
Yeah.
At no
juice
point
isn't worth
in
the
the
squeeze for Brisc, so why would he do this? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
Any
Brisc
gain
is,
he could have had
he's
is
not an
basically
idiot.
pocket change. I don't know.
But at no point in the dev blog did CCP use his real name. I think for some reason, I don't know.
They didn't have to.
I
already
know,
given.
but a
There's
lot of people want to put the blame on CCP for like ruining Brisc's real life. Like people are acting like Brisc has cause to sue CCP for libel, which is bullshit.
Well, hold on. Time out a second. Just time out 1 second. And I'm not going to Texas law this, okay? Or whatever the freaking like meme I'm trying to like latch onto because like I'm trying to be a young person kind of a thing, okay? But what they did was they said this character committed this act that is a potentially defamation of character, and I don't mean character in the game, but like if other people can fucking like link it back because the name is already out there, their accusation
that's still on Brisc.
Their accusation. Nobody is accusing them of doxing him. Nobody is accusing them of
That's
putting
how
his
people
name
are.
out there.
That's how people are talking about this. People are talking about it like CCP is calling him out personally.
They are accusing CCP of putting out something that is defaming the character, which is also defaming the person.
No, people are acting like CCP is defaming Brisc as a person.
Well, hold on.
And
because the linkage exists. They know it exists.
And that
they
is on
Brisc. Because of
that is not on CCP.
Oh, is it? Is it not?
It's on Brisc.
Hold on. Hold on. So he defamed himself by way of the deflection he had already done the thing.
He made the conscious decision to link his real world identity to his Eve identity.
We're not going to Texas lawyer this.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Hold on. We're not going to Texas lawyer this because none of us are Texas lawyers. And like if I was from El Paso and you were from like Beaumont or something like that, you and I would be arguing in Austin.
I could get a hold of Roannon. He's from Texas.
No. We're not going to fucking do that.
He's
We're not
a
gonna
lawyer.
Hold on. Look. Whatever shit's going to fucking work out there along those fucking lines, it's like whatever. All right. The accusation of a breach of confidentiality based on a non-disclosure agreement that was signed in real life only came from one party. Now, whether or not that is attempted to be enforced in a court of law, Not our fucking business. Whether or not that is attempted to be like, enforced in a court of law of like defamation of you fucked me up over here, not our fucking business. It opens up a massive fucking can of worms. A massive can of worms that nobody should fucking want. I don't think they got those fucking lawyers on standby sitting there going, oh yeah, fuck that shit. Guess what? We're not getting Dust 518.
It's 514, Dirk. God
Whatever.
damn it.
5-1.
Close enough. Who's close?
Well,
Who's
how do you
close?
know Nova's not going to be 518?
22, 23, whatever. it takes.
515.
Anno
That's the next
514.
version.
What if they double it? 1028.
But
Oh,
Dun,
dang.
dun, dun.
none of that matters. I asked you guys the question before about whether or not you thought that going forward, and let's be honest here. When somebody gets banned from the game, do we believe that there should be pop-ups like in other games out there going, somebody just got fucking banned for, whatever.
Headshot.
Speaking of those pop-ups,
Somebody
way.
just got banned for RMT trading,
Headshot.
like because all
Double
of these
kill.
things should be equal in the whole fucking ban scheme,
Monster
right?
kill.
Do we want that level of thing? And I don't mean you people out there who just want to see the fucking world burn. I'm talking about, like, honestly, do we want, because
No.
slippery slope.
No, you don't.
And I know
Can-
slippery.
can
And I know
I
we just
say-
saying slippery
You don't
slope is a
mean,
slippery
like-
slope argument, but
I think you were up and away when I said, Dirk, but you don't mention to the public every time you ban someone. You mention that to the person personally. And that's it. That's the only person that needs to know that they're banned is the person themselves when they try to log in, or if they read an email saying, hey, you've been banned, or if they try to log in, it's like,
King
oh, you've
Aries
been
is
banned.
calling me out saying I was totally in for public shaming of bans 3 weeks ago, and honestly, I wasn't here 3 weeks ago. I was here 4 weeks ago. However, there has been a time that I was totally on board for public shaming, okay? But now that I see where public shaming can go, I'm retracting my statement if I ever said that before.
Wow.
I actually thought that I just questioned whether or not we were willing to go there.
They could make a monument for like a banument.
Banument.
A banument, just put it on a system, and like
I'm
every
all
time
for
someone gets
public
banned, a new
shaming
pixel
as
gets
long
added.
as all
just-
we're talking
Like an
about is
annual
shaming.
pilgrimage to the
yeah,
Banument.
it's just it gets bigger and bigger the more people that get banned.
I'm all for public shaming as long as all we're talking about is shaming. Like shaming amongst the player base. Shame that amongst us. Once you get out to human being fucking shaming, no, I'm not for fucking that, asshole. It's a different fucking deal. And if you don't know the difference in the fucking deal, I'm sorry. Like, it is a different deal when you know that what you're going to fucking do is shame a character that is going to be linked to a human being and therefore shame them in real life. That's not what anybody's talking about. We're talking about public shaming as in this fucking character in your alliance got publicly shamed in EVE Online, therefore other people in his alliance know who he is. Public shaming, it's fine, it's ridicule, whatever, okay? Public shaming of real life individuals based on legal binding contracts, different fucking story.
Can I just say that, like, this public shaming thing and the thing on the launcher prompted my cousin to believe that somehow Brisc Rubal and his literal quote cronies were playing the markets and Mimitar, Highsuck, and Bumfuck Nowhere. He's like, yeah, the markets have been strange ever since. Like, this item, like, there were a ton of them on the market yesterday and there's none today. And I'm like, okay. Like,
Thanks,
maybe,
Obama.
I'm like, maybe he has a point. I'm like, what item? And he links, like, Meta T1, like, railguns. And I'm like, you think that
Yeah. Follow the
these
money.
three guys caused that? And he's like, yeah, because they banned a lot of assets and it was all across
Cue
the
the
game. It has to
X-Files
be it.
theme song.
Yeah, that's-
And I'm like, no, wait. I'm like, wait a second. No. I'm like, that's not how this would work. Because first of all, if he was doing that, he would be really fucking stupid to get banned for that. But second of all, there is no way anyone in their right mind is going to attempt to play the market by buying things from Rens, flying the May jumps to some bumfuck starter system, and selling them for 40,000 ISK each. And I was like, I sent him like this paragraph of
That
like,
is fucking.
bro, you're wrong.
That is fucking.
Meta
literally-
Rails is where the money is.
That
Everybody
is
knows
the that is the best. Fuck Brisc. like
He
if
was
it wasn't
so
for Brisc,
mad.
this shit wouldn't be happening in
I
EVE
think I
Online.
spent
kind of a thing.
50,000
Thanks,
more on
Brisc.
drones.
The level of tinfoil associated with that, and this is a dude who apparently plays the fucking market. This is a guy who apparently knows things and whatnot. And this is why other market makers are sitting there going, yeah, that tinfoil motherfucker over there, we eat his lunch every day.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc
Rubal.
Rubal. It's weird how our
You gotta, like,
brains
call it
want
first
to
or
make
something.
connections where none may exist.
Amazing.
I gotta say,
His name is Brisc Rubal.
This has been such an eventful event that I've had people at work ask me about this. They don't even play Eve. They don't even play video games. People approached me in my office to ask me about this just because they know that I play Eve and they read about it on some news site somewhere. It's totally bizarre.
My daughter heard about this. My daughter came. She's like, I heard this happen to your buddy. I'm like, it was from my wife, but like,
my
whatever.
mom tweeted, like, my mom texted me too. She's like, what happened to Brisc? I'm like, Mom, what the fuck?
I swear to God, I swear to all of you out there in the fucking listening audience, okay? If ever, number one, okay, because they've been semi-transparent, if they ever go fucking full transparent and they show the level of fucking detail, okay, that would add to that, okay? Which, number one, when you're in for a fucking penny, you're in for a fucking pound. Put that shit the fuck out there, release the report, okay? If it shows that, I will literally crucify a motherfucker on this show. I just will. I'll write that motherfucker off the way that I would write it. It's like, boom, done,
Public
bitch.
shaming.
I think that's against the Twitch.
But don't
Yeah, you
feed
can't.
the mass. Don't feed the masses with merely your accusation and expect us to believe that that's exactly what it is. Because guess what? You know what? You actually, I'm sorry, CCP, you have not earned that level of credit. You haven't. You haven't earned the level of credit for this kind of fucking punishment. You haven't earned the level of credit to put that kind of vague statement out there and have us just believe you wholeheartedly. I want to, though. I literally want to, because I have to choose
show the
between
system works.
this dude over here where I know character and this company that is really fucking bad at communications.
I think the other
However,
thing
I
too,
do see Judge staying up really fucking late out there, and I do
it's
want to.
early. He's waking up early. Derek.
No, because on Monday night, Judge went to bed, and then he woke up, and I was still fucking in talking in stations like Discord. They wanted us to do open comms Monday night, and like, you know, I'm sitting there going,
Yeah, I tried
and
to
I
get you to do
literally
it, and you
broke open
pussied
some
out.
beers, and like knowing that, like,
Yeah,
you know,
you
I was
fucking
like,
chugged on talking stations. How
But I
dare you
won't do that.
betray Matterall? First, Brisc goes to Matterall with the leaks, and now you go to Matterall with the beer.
You
I
guys,
have.
You're getting kicked off the show.
you guys,
I have a quote from the next morning.
you guys
when
would have to
Judge
find
woke up.
someone. I don't think I got home on Monday until like 8:30 p.m. I had to go way the fuck out.
I'm gonna find it here. I have a quote from Monday. I'm sorry, it would have been Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, Judge's time. Let me find it. And it actually made me think it was you, Judge. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I thought you might have been the CSM guy, although I think you may have been one of the yay votes for let's nail this motherfucker. But like, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Because it was actually telling in the first 24 hours.
You're looking for the post he said
first...
where it was kind of like, if he did it, then he did it. Like that was the thing the judge said. But
hold on, I'm gonna go back.
I think
how many fucking days do I have here, this motherfucker?
I'm
in February.
You guys talked right over Rain's fantastic pun.
Because
I got it.
Do it again.
Okay. No, she can't do it again. The moment's passed, but it was perfect.
Hold on. Here.
You got to listen
sorry.
to the recording.
Rain, remember your pun. Okay, here it is. It was 11:38 p.m. my time, which is whatever in like another part of the world. Okay, my opinion is that at the end of the day, CCP isn't going to sue. No, because they don't actually have damages. Brisc isn't going to sue. No, because players normally don't. I'm sorry, the parenthetical statements are mine. Nothing on the ban is going to change, and Brisc is going to kick himself for ever trying to rally the public.
Wait, that was a judge statement?
That was the judge statement. My opinion is that...
Call out, Judge. What do you have to say?
I think I know
My
who it might be.
opinion is that at the end of the day, CCP isn't going to sue, Brisc isn't going to sue, nothing on the ban is going to change, and Brisc is going to kick himself for ever trying to rally the public. Which at that point, Brisc was not trying to rally... Brisc was not trying to rally the public, as far as I understand. There were other people out there who were more like, let's gin shit up, okay? It was more the, Brisc just saying, but I have to put a statement out because my real life is actually on the line, not this shit with fucking pixels.
Well, the judge says he had no hand in the outing of Brisc.
However, it appeared as though 11:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday night of this past week, that the judge at least had some information that led him to believe that there is real stuff involved here. And I'm going to be honest, it is part of the equation where I believe that real stuff is involved here. The question is how fucking real. The question is how fucking real for that penalty and all that kind of stuff. The question is how fucking real for where you're going to throw somebody out there with this level of public disclosure.
How deep does this go?
Are you going to press the witch that hard? But we don't know. We don't know. Because I'm gonna go back to when Manny did it for reals. When Noob Man did it for fucking reals. Noob Man got banned. But honestly, at that time, he actually legitimately under his own name threw that shit out there. Manny? He got fucking removed from the Council of Stellar Monogamy. Here, bitch got thrown out under the whole fucking deal. And that is the thing that we can't have anymore. Okay? If Brisc has to go down as a fucking martyr to the cause of what CCP should do as a legitimate company in the real fucking world, it is transparency only goes so far until you actually fuck with motherfuckers in the real world. Don't do that. And I'm not even still sure that that's going to fucking cure this.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I don't get. I keep going back to inconsistency. So Manny maliciously leaked, supposedly, gets just removed from CSM, not banned. Brisc, if there was a leak, I would assume it was an accidental, maybe a nonchalant comment he made that someone maybe took up. Is my best guess, because based on Brisc's wealth,
that's
in the
what
game,
I think.
Brisc has got plenty of ISK. He doesn't need to do some scheme to make more ISK. And just his character doesn't seem like someone that would do some scheming like that. So if there was a breach, an NDA leak or whatever, I would assume it was not some kind of conniving intentional thing. It might have been something that he had just mentioned or said. Didn't realize that it was going to be a big thing. Someone took it and ran with it, and now it came out in the open, and he's in trouble with it. If that happened, well then it happened. But how does he get banned and publicly slaughtered as opposed to Manny just getting removed from the CSM?
So Manny was just removed with no detail, right?
Just different time.
New Man's the most recent, right? New Man's the most recent perma ban related to the CSM, based on what the players know. And so you can say they're making progress to say, hey, if you leak something NDA related, permaban. And Judge also pointed out they banned the guy he leaked to. So the banning of the players who also find out also gets banned. So Judge, tell everyone a leak, and then we're all gonna get fucking banned. Do it, Judge. Martyr yourself.
Oh man. Well, we don't have to act on it.
I don't want to get banned.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is
Brisc Rubal.
What was his name, motherfucker?
We gotta do another shot to say it again, or is it a...
No.
Okay, I was just saying...
That was a tangential question.
How is it tangential? It's the same topic. That's a...
But it was still a fucking tangent from where we were.
Not cosinal.
Wasn't it? Was it a fucking cosinal question?
Or was it parabolic?
Nobody ever says that was a cosinal question. Wait,
goddamn trigonometry and politics. How do you do this?
If we say this shit enough, Apophany is going to appear because he's a math major.
That's a big transgression.
Say his name 3 times.
Holy shit! I just don't even know
Start
anymore.
talking about transversal. You should
However,
go up.
But yeah, the public shaming thing was like fucking atrocious because you obviously saw my cousin, complete new fucking player, somehow thinks his little Minmatar market and fucking nowhere is affected by some douchebag on the CSM, which he doesn't even know what the fucking CSM is. He's just like, yeah, this asshole and his cronies. And so, public shaming thing was absolute garbage. Everyone's there. Next.
All right.
Thank you. Next.
I do want to transition this off of like CCP's mishandling of public disclosure related to things that are beyond just like bitch is no longer on the CSM, everything's going to be confidential, let's all just chill. Right? Or let's all just make up whatever shit we want to in our mind, but we as a company are not going to give you the allegation that we're not going to support. If you give an allegation, support it, bitches. Stop being bitches. Straight up, bang. Like, really short rant, but whatever.
I like that you looked directly into the camera.
Dude, I was so eyes on the fucking camera, was I not? Fuck yeah, Logitech.
Like eye contact, man. Even on the internet, eye contact is intimidating.
I was a little scared.
I was getting defensive. I was just gonna be like,
just saying.
Phones go in the bin.
I hope I had like good facial, like, you know, it's like whatever. Anyways, the last thing I want to get into, now that we've done with how Brisc handled this, how CCP handled this, I want to get into how did the media handle this. Number one, the first media thing that we had from this was the Talking in Stations chill chat, which had like, you know, like 1,400 fucking monkeys, like, you know, in the fucking channel, and then Brisc showed up, and then it like went into like a different kind of vibe. Okay, but then we started to get articles from the gaming press out there. How do we feel the gaming press handled this?
Do you want to talk about the bad or the good?
Look, I've got
honestly,
both the bad and the good because I don't come to a fucking table without shit in both pockets.
What's that, Manic?
The only reason this got picked up by outlets outside of the CCP dev blog is because people saw 3 keywords in this story: politician, banned, and corruption, collusion, whatever it was a C
CCP
word.
did not say corruption or collusion. They said
but
that's right.
breach,
Okay.
I believe. Confidential, I think that was it.
breach, yeah.
They never
that's
said
the
that.
only reason this got picked up elsewhere, because people latched on to those
No,
3 words.
It's not the only reason. I'm sure that we can actually go back.
It was for clickbait.
And we can find articles that were written about other CSM members who had been removed or hell, maybe even resigned. Okay, you know, it's like, I don't think that this is the first article that was ever written about CSM members who were removed, right?
I'm not saying it was.
It was the first article that I can remember that did a couple things. Well, actually, hold on. One of them is not. Okay. And mainly the whole thing is not. Alex, the Matani, was the first article that I can remember where they actually laid out in multiple fucking times his real world name, his real world background, and all that fucking shit with the wizard hat at FanFest and like shit like that, right? But that was back at a time when CCP required that your real name be presented the same way that they do now when you're going to run for fucking CSM, okay? And then disclosed it out to the public. So all those people on those early CSMs, real names out into the fucking public. Now, Brisc, when he ran, his real name wasn't required out there. You can't blame the fucking doxing on CCP or anything like that. That was totally on Brisc.
Yeah,
and I owe you this shot right now. His name is fucking Brisc Rubal.
Oh, wait.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
You know what? Fuck that shit. I'm just going to fucking pour it while I fucking talk. His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
Other people in the past, namely the Matani, actually got their fucking dick strung out there because CCP actually required it. They required it at the time that you have to give us your real name, just like they do
And
now.
they posted it.
Okay? And they publicized it out to the community because they were fucking dumb.
I never understood what the
His name is
necessity
Brisc
of that
Rubal.
was for. His name was Brisc Rubal.
The cynical side of me says that they did it as like, I don't want to say collateral. Like that's the only word I can think of. Like if you fuck up, your real information
That's
is
how
publicized.
It was kind of like the axe over the head kind of mentality.
Right. It's the
Well,
sword
I
of
can
Damocles.
understand. So you're saying that hold on. So I understand why CCP wants the real names and stuff. That's obvious. But that could be kept public or private. You're saying
Right,
that they made it public to
Yes.
put the threat of fear.
I'm not
like
saying.
the fear of the sword of Damocles.
Whoa! I'm not saying that that's why they did it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's where my head goes when I think of.
I don't
the
know
thought
if-
process
I don't-
behind
that
it.
It was a
really
different time.
shady
It
if
was
they
a
did
different time in the internet. It was a different time in the mentality of people who were dealing with the internet. These people were dealing with whether or not asteroids need to explode at a certain rate. Maybe they didn't understand it. It's like whatever. Okay, but at that time, that's what they fucking required. And the Matani's real name spewed all over the fucking bra straps of people out there. It was ridiculous the number of times his name was fucking used, but that was public information literally from fucking CCP. That being said, here we deal with a time where this person doxed themselves. I'm not, you know what? Fuck it. I owe y'all a fucking shot because I brought it up again. His name is fucking Brisc Rubal, except that motherfucker actually doxed himself. I'm tired of doing fucking shots for the guy that fucked up for his own self. Okay, but I owe you one. I do owe you one. Everybody fucking hold me to it. All right. But the articles that came out, right? When you talk about fucking up somebody's Google future from now until the fucking end of time,
It's articles.
they did that.
They
shit,
have all the
okay?
ways to get the top
The
Google
gaming
searches.
Now,
media
hold on.
did it.
Hold
the
on.
fucking real world media fucking did it. Go ahead.
Brisc, he had a personal life before his CSM election. His name was he's a real life politician. His name has been out there prior to him being on the CSM.
But it wasn't connected to Brisc. He didn't run in Virginia
I get that.
as Brisc.
Let me finish. If you Google his real name, will that bring up this particular
Yes.
scandal? Or
Yes.
I understand if you Google Brisc Rubal, it will bring this up.
Yes,
I'm gonna
both of
do
those.
it right now.
Yeah, try it.
Okay.
But it's okay. So it is
So
on
let me
Brisc
tell
that
you-
he put his own.
Let me tell you the worst example. The worst example out there. And man, can I just look? I'm a fucking dad. You know what? I'm not even gonna pull my fucking shot up right now. I'm gonna pull a beer up like a fucking dad.
No. Do your dad talk. I want to
No,
hear your dad talk.
Uh,
I know. I'm pulling my fucking dad up, my dad talk up right now. You know, where it's like, look, I've got a fucking can of beer here right now, where I'm just talking to you as a fucking dad.
Can I have?
It's the fifth result.
Can I have a
If you
can of beer
Google it,
from
it's
not
the
a
fifth
dad?
result.
Give us the
You know,
dad
Dad,
talk, Brisc.
Hold on.
This-
I'll
here's
do
my
that.
dad
talking
talk.
as
You
a,
ready?
I'm
You're
the
a
one who's
boomer
talking
dad,
as a
so-
dad. All the rest of you people are just fucking listeners. So
No,
chill the
here's
fuck out.
my
Brisc.
dad talk. You ready? I'm
Okay.
not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just
God
fucking
damn it,
disappointed.
blast him.
Boy.
And do you know who I am most disappointed in?
Me?
I am most disappointed in Steven fucking Mesner from PC Gamer Magazine.
Got him.
As I drink
Agreed.
the fucking beer out of that shit. Because here's the fucking deal, okay? Number one, they were one of the first ones to come out with the story, which I give total fucking props. Hold on. His name is Steve Mesner.
No,
Shot.
No, we're not doing a shot for
I'm
him.
not doing a shot.
We're not
for
doing
him.
a shot
I'm
for
doing
him.
a shot for him, and I still owe
Stop
one
it.
fucking Brisc Rubal.
Get some help.
Okay? I'm doing a fucking shot for the fact that he was one of the early motherfuckers out of the fucking gate with this whole goddamn story. Okay? But I am completely motherfucking sorry. When you actually... Hold on, where's my fucking notes in here? What'd you guys do with my fucking notes?
We shared them,
I didn't touch him.
and then everyone.
Oh,
deleted
there it is.
I
I'm
touched
sorry.
your
Somebody
notes,
put him in
Eric.
Twitch chat again.
One of the things that we were
That
all
was
concerned
Brisc.
about...
He leaked
one
our
of the things
show
that we
notes.
were all concerned about...
Brisc
okay?
leaked the show notes.
One of the things that we were all concerned about with this entire fucking thing was the fact of, whoa, shit, hold on. This is not just like GigX in Serbia being like, I'm gonna cut a motherfucker's hands off. This is like, I am out there. I've got my persona out there and whatnot. Like, you know, what is the media going to do, right? And several hours later, you know what the media did? The first shot out of the fucking gate from somebody who is quasi-related to EVE Online community, they put an article out there that used his real name twice. And they used his in-game name twice. They used his real name 16 fucking times because they are a click.
That's over the line. That's way over the line.
Writer, editor, organization. I don't give a shit where you want to fucking lay that blame, you cock-sucking fucktwats. That is the worst thing I have ever fucking seen. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. At 5 p.m. this afternoon, I swore to INN I wouldn't fucking do this. But you know what? Right now, I am sorry. I am so fucking sorry that your fucking lame-ass internet gaming writing life who fucked me a couple years ago and is now fucking this motherfucker even fucking harder in the ass. What is fucking wrong with you? How do you fucking wake up in the morning and not sit there and go, why can't I just be in a pod? Please, somebody, I'm in a pod. Just fucking shoot me.
This is what I was talking about earlier, and you want to hold off to the end.
You had better credentials than this. What happened to you? You are actually a legitimate fucking game writer. You were actually published in Playboy magazine, which we all know is like for the stories.
Oh, that's the height of journalism.
On. He was actually somebody who pretended to know Eve, and we've known that like nobody knows Eve except for fucking Eve players and shit like that. But like, I'm sorry, and let me. His name is Life Shifter.
Uh-oh.
Life Shifter. I said I wasn't going to go fucking full Dirk on fucking
You went full Dirk.
You totally did.
I said I wasn't going to go full fucking Dirk on fucking Steve Mesner. I am sorry.
He fucked up that article so fucking hard.
No,
you use a motherfucker's name 16 to 1.
Are you
16 to 1 in real life is because you're a dick. Not because you're reporting a story. And let me go down to the next fucking story, which is the way it should be fucking done.
His name is Brisc
by a
Rubal.
legitimate fucking Eve player, Saren.
Darkfist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I burped. Okay. Fucking Saren Darkfist. Okay. Out on Kotaku. Why are we praising Kotaku when PC Gamer is the legit gaming magazine of like the world? Okay. This guy did it the right fucking way. He cited Brisc's name and occupation and all that kind of shit right up front. And then everywhere else, he treated him like every other gamer in existence.
As the player.
You are the fucking player. The character. Are. In this case, he fucking cited him. In the other case, the other guy fucking cited Brisc 16 to 1 or 15 to 1 or whatever the fucking was, while the other players that he didn't have the real name. He's like, oh, they're just their fucking Penderalica and fucking like Mick Shines or whatever the fuck it is. Dark Shines.
Dark Shines, yeah.
Mick Shines, Dark Shines. Nobody gives a shit about Shines. Except Shines was actually the real bitch in this, right?
Shine bright like a diamond.
All right.
What?
Well, the thing is,
I don't want to get off on Shines. I don't want to get off on casting blame.
Well, this is okay.
I don't want to cast. Hold on.
I think Dirk right
blame.
now. You need to take like a piece of cloth and wipe the sweat off of your forehead and then sell that shit on eBay.
My fucking forehead is dry as fuck. Cause you know what?
Is it wax?
My forehead knows I'm right.
Well, hold on. So this is what I was trying to say at the beginning of the show. Now you want to push it to the end. It's obviously for clickbait, because if Steve Mesner had written that article and it just mentioned nothing about Brisc Rubal, no one would have gave a shit.
Bullshit. Steve Mesner tried to answer that crack-ass fucking horse shit out on fucking Twitter. He tried to answer it, and somebody tore his fucking ass out.
All right, hold on, Dirk. I am not defending Steve Mesner at all.
And you know what?
Crucify him.
This is the guy I had drinks with in Vegas. It's like, what the fuck? Until he like abused my anus, like
I know. I'm just saying, like
last year or like the year before or whatever. Like whenever my anus was open to you bitches, he abused it.
I'm all for the slamming of Steve for this article.
In a Minxie article.
I was just
in a Minxie article of all things.
Hold on. I'm not defending Steve Mesner at all. I'm totally against the article as well. I'm just saying that I think the reason he wrote it is because aside from the EVE players who would have been interested in Reddit, but PC Gamer is not an EVE magazine. It is a general PC Gamer magazine, and the only way to get into...
No, it's not, motherfucker. I was a guy who got the magazine at my home because I bought postage. I was a guy who went to CompUSA and bought my computer.
Although I think the article was online. I don't think it went in the magazine.
That's how it fucking worked. And now this bitch is out there being like, whatever, I don't give a shit, I'm wherever. What?
Although I think this article was one of their online articles.
Fucking young bitches being like, but I can only pose
X up
now
in chat if you
what?
actually remember CompUSA.
I remember I never did anything. I remember the name, but anyway.
And by the way, I'm flaming out, and it's 10:45.
I know.
We have an actual social media announcement to make.
Let's do it.
We have a social media announcement to make. By the way, I'm not cutting all you out there being like, X for fucking Dirk because he's so fucking cool. Okay, but like,
I think no, they're X because they remember CompUSA, Dirk.
Huh.
That's all it is. It's not.
What about Babbage's?
Wait, we're not doing a giveaway?
What about Babbage's?
No, they're just
now.
They're just like they're all baby boomers, Rain. That's all they are.
Fucking old people
fucking
playing this
boomers.
game.
Holy
this is what's so
shit.
bad about this fucking game. It's all
Rain,
old people
do you
playing this
remember
game. We're all gonna
USA?
fucking die because we're fucking cardiac
Oh,
arrest
boomers.
patients. Anyways, okay. Look seriously. Look seriously. We are starting this. We're not throwing this in at you like 5 minutes before the end of the fucking show. We're throwing this in at you right now, 14 minutes before the fucking end of the show. Okay, because I can still read a fucking clock. Okay. I want you guys to fucking know that 2 days from now, the fucking Game of Thrones fucking season premiere is gonna fucking happen. Which means that 9 days from now, 7 days from now, we're gonna fuck your shit up. We are gonna
keep
put
playing it.
We are gonna put a fucking like broadcast out there, like in this fucking show about like if you don't want to hear what fucking happens, okay, shut the fuck up, go home, go to a diner, like
we got
suck your mom's
spoilers for
tit,
the whole
like,
season
whatever
I'm
right
gonna
now.
test my Game of Thrones account and see if it works.
Spoiler.
Yeah, we
If
got all
it
the
doesn't
spoilers.
work, I'm
We're
gonna
not gonna
fucking jump
give
off a
every
bridge.
spoiler. We're gonna talk
we
about
don't have
the
any
things
right
we
now.
thought fucking mattered during that time.
I do.
Like if
I
all
have
of a
my
sudden, like
HBO
what's his
Go
name,
account.
jaked off a fucking
Wait,
sausage
how are
in his
you guys
mouth.
watching HBO? How are you guys watching Game of Thrones?
Because we
download
pay
it.
like
I
HBO
had an
subscribers.
account.
Stop being
Yeah.
a poor.
No, they don't have Dish anymore. How do I get in?
No, Rain, you can go.
Dish.
Rain,
I think
Rain,
you can get it
mobile
through Crave TV.
No,
Rain,
my
Rain.
parents have a Dish account, so I use HBO their Dish
Rain,
account.
Rain, you can
If
sign
they
up for
don't have
HBO
Dish
Go.
access
It's
because their mobile home is behind the
Oh
mountain.
my god, how do I sign up for HBO
just
Go, you guys?
Google HBO Go. It's
Go to
literally
you go to you walk
it's-
into
oh my
CompUSA
God,
and you
HBO, oh my
sign
God.
up for a
AC
subscription.
flashback.
yeah, no,
right
HBO
now.
Go. It's like $10 a
Start
month.
your free trial. Oh,
It's like
fuck,
10 or
dude, I'm
15
doing
bucks
it.
a month, and it just gives you online VOD
Guys, that's
access
my
to all
email.
HBO stuff. So just get that, and you can watch Game of Thrones.
Amazon.
Hold on.
That's
And I
how
have to
I'm
ask
gonna
a
watch, because
legitimate
my roommates have the
I'm gonna
HBO.
Why
use
am
my
I
Go.
paying
mom's
so
email.
much for HBO when really all they have is this year's premiere? But anyways, we'll figure that out in like June.
Yeah,
Right? June. It's only like 7 fucking weeks or whatever.
6. Well, it might be
6
7 because I remember
Is it 6?
it's 6 episodes. Now they might skip a week because I remember last season they skipped
I blame
Mother's Day.
Brisc Rubal for the fact that like it's only 6 because
Yeah.
like it used to be 7, but now I blame it
Last
on
season
Brisc.
was 7. This season 6. All those seasons before that were 10. But and the times are like the first episode's like 55 minutes. The next one's 58 or something like that. And then it's
All
like
right.
120, 118. So it's
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then
they're
they
all-
go,
they're all
then they
almost
go to
cinematic.
full fucking movie length.
Yeah, they're like
fucking
one-
scenes.
I think now the first
115 and
the first 2
120.
episodes are normal length. They're like 55, 58 minutes. But the average length of each
Can we
episode is like
just-
118.
Can we just talk about the fact that we're gonna fuck up everybody here in the last 10 minutes, right? The last 10 minutes will be where we lay it out there, right? 10? 5? Like, how much time do we need?
10.
We want to know
Well,
when, like, the
Let's
fucking,
go
like,
15 because
signal's
I guarantee
gonna
we'll
go in.
talk a lot about it. So I would say
No,
15.
no, no.
The signal will be
time
the
out.
We need
signal will be if
15.
we play the Game of Thrones theme. From that point on,
I will have a spoiler thing
we can
come on
make
as
the
well.
call.
Yeah.
We can make the call.
We're not gonna
show to
fuck
show
it
to
up
show.
for you people. You guys can sign off and be like, "Wow,
Right.
Whoa, Dirk said some drunk shit in the middle of that, and I'm still wanting that." It's like, no, you can't have it. You can't.
Right.
Like, that's
But
premium level fucking Omega status. You don't even know what that means
but
here.
this is how we've always done it, Dirk. Is we'll put up the sound effect. We'll put it. Like, I'll probably just have a little thing. Like we'll play that. Even though I've been told
For
by
a
Life
while.
Shifter to
For a
not
while.
play that. Because
for a while. Fuck Life Shifter. You know what? You know what I realized about Life Shifter tonight? He actually
Because
doesn't
I
know
love
shit.
this song.
well, hold on. I'm just saying, like,
He actually thought
it's
Steve
fine if we
Mesner
play
was
it like a
his
few
boy.
seconds. We'll play a little clip of the intro. I'll have a little graphic saying Game of Thrones spoilers,
Dun-dun-dun.
and then we'll
Play the
audio.
fucking song. Are you
No,
I
kidding
want to
me?
lip
I
sync
don't
it
want
right
us to
now.
No,
We're not gonna
Copyright
get banned.
strike.
Fuck you.
I
Play
want to
the
fucking
song.
I want to karaoke
Okay,
Game of
copyright.
Thrones theme song right now.
we should do that. We should do that in Toronto. Play the bar. Da 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 da. Da 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 da, and like have people like we should do that. We should actually organize a whole
I wanna be the
quartet.
cello.
We should organize
so
like a
he gets to do
quartet.
the
So like
drums.
some people in the back
He
like
does the cello.
ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum, and others be like da da, like have a whole thing.
But we should have Rain be the bum 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 bum.
No,
Because,
I
like,
could be,
Rain-
that's a
I
more
could be
manly
the
thing.
Sopranos. You
Rain,
guys
no,
have to
no,
be the
Rain can
bass.
be the tenor. I'll be the soprano.
Okay.
I
I don't know
I just want to
music,
do
so I really don't know.
dun-dun-dun-dun,
tenor
'cause
is
that's
the
all I
deep
know.
one. Soprano's the high one. I think. Well,
Anyways,
alto's the
that's
super
totally-
high one.
hold
Then it
on.
goes
That's
soprano.
I'll be
totally
the
a-
bass.
that's
And then it's
totally
tenor,
after
then
show.
bass.
That's totally after show where I'll give you guys a fucking hint about what I'm
Contrabass.
gonna
Those
say
are
about
sub
fucking
ones,
PC
yeah.
Gamer and like Steve Mesner because I feel like I underplayed that earlier.
But anyway,
you were ranting pretty hard.
wait,
We were
wait,
rooting
we'll-
for you.
Was it?
We'll
Was
play
it?
I didn't
sound-
see
I don't
anyone
need to
talking
do that.
shit.
then.
we'll play
Whatever.
sound, we'll do the graphic, and we'll
I'm totally
also
gonna rant on
verbally
him
mention
harder.
that we're going to go into Game of Thrones spoilers. If after that you stuck around and didn't want spoilers, that's on you. That's not on
That's
us.
your own fault.
Hold on.
You got no one to
hold on.
blame but you.
Here's what we'll do. Here's what we promise you. Okay, we will totally fucking on this show on INN give fucking Game of Thrones spoilers,
Oh.
but
Alto.
we will also include people who are like, I'm just not into that shit. Whatever. I'm a fucking like nerd, but not a nerd.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in the after show.
From Darkness, actually, some correction. I thought alto was higher than soprano.
Hold on,
But
is
soprano's
dark-
the highest, then alto,
Hold on,
then
you can't
tenor,
say
then
darkness.
baritone, then bass. I forgot baritone.
I'm all about that bass.
Dude, we're not... Girls about that bass. About that bass. About that bass.
But anyway,
No treble.
real quick. So also,
No
something-
trouble now.
no. One of my roommates at
Are
her
we doing
work.
karaoke after this? Because right now I'm
No.
like,
Dude,
Oh,
we're doing
God.
karaoke.
No.
in Toronto.
I will totally do
Yeah,
karaoke
Okay,
after
but
this.
hold on.
Hell yeah.
and fucking he's here with the fucking soundboard and shit. It's
No,
like,
no,
we're
no.
just
This is
doing
this is a great.
Dude, what's
Hold on,
that
hold-
one song that?
Wait. This is a great idea.
You
So
should play the song I really
my
like.
my
I forget
roommate
it, though.
at work.
We got 8 minutes.
I guess they never did.
No.
You
No.
got a voice,
We got
but
eight-
that
we got
is
eight minutes. 8 minutes to the real show.
like Wiz
8 minutes to the real
Khalifa.
show.
All right,
8 minutes to the real show. I want to bring it back.
I was
You
trying
know
to
what?
bring up a thing
Because
about
we got
Game of
8
Thrones.
minutes. Because we got 8 minutes, I want to recap. A, do you think Brisc did something?
Yes.
Something.
Unintentionally, yes.
Yeah.
Something. Unintentionally something, yes.
I think unintentionally something.
B, do you think fucking CCP went overboard in their announcement?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
C, do you think the fucking media fucked this shit up because CCP fucked up on their announcement?
100%.
Specifically
Yes.
PC Gamer,
Yeah.
yes.
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 Especially Steve Mesner. What?
What
Yeah.
the hell?
Hashtag fuck Steve Mesner.
Steve Mesner's dead to me.
Honestly, fucking Steve, come on, bro. You were a much cooler bro at that fucking bar that night. It's like, please, chill your fucking bitch ass out.
Get it together, Steve.
It's like you can't even play a video game, but you can write about it and still be a dick? Stop.
Give your head a shake.
All right, real quick before we have to end.
Gonna be a good
Gonna be a good time.
good
Man. I
day.
can't wait for Canada. Doesn't he live near Toronto?
Dude,
Can I
when
meet
we go to
Larry?
fucking
Toronto's
Canada,
gonna be so
Do you
much
know
fucking
Larry?
fun.
Canada's
Oh,
gonna
God.
be so
I can't
fucking
wait.
relive
Wait,
the
is
fucking
Brisk
moment.
going to Canada?
Hold
Is
on.
Brisk banned
We-
from Canada
you-
now?
I don't know.
Brisc isn't
Is he
banned
banned?
from Canada.
He was
no.
going
If,
to Canada. I
Is
don't
he
know.
banned from Eve Canada? Because who gives a shit?
If
Aren't you
Border
coming
Patrol
to the
reads
parties,
PC Gamer,
motherfuckers?
probably.
Well, I was saying, like, Brisc was going to the Toronto meet. I don't know if he's going to go to the actual, like, Toronto Eve stuff, but I think he's still going to Toronto.
God.
I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to the
Brisc
East
should
stuff.
show up and be like, bitches, please.
Am I going
I'm in
to
Canada.
Eve North?
Give me the fucking free weed.
Hold on, Eric. Am I going to Eve North? Is Eve North to Toronto?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
Araya, not
Eve
Eric.
North is
Rhea.
Toronto.
Jesus
I
Christ.
said Araya.
Yes.
No, you didn't. You said Eric.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
right.
completely
Yes.
Lenny went to
Yes.
Vegas
fine.
after
Okay,
getting banned. Lenny
At
went,
least
yeah, Lenny went to
recognize
Vegas.
your fucking listeners.
Rhea.
Jesus.
Yes, I am going to Toronto.
Didn't Lenny win the graphics?
We're all
Yeah,
going
literally-
to fucking Toronto.
Literally
Except for
every
maybe
single
Bristol.
We'll all be
person-
there.
That whole thing.
Every single person on camera here will be in Toronto this year.
By the way, can I get you guys to like buy into? Look, Brisgate is so fucking horish of like, oh my god, you weak bitches! Would you please get off the whole fucking just slapping gate on the end of shit?
No,
this
no,
is the
no.
Brixidin.
The
Brixidin.
I was gonna say like
Brixidin.
we need
Brixidin.
like a
If you want
WikiLeaks,
to put
like
an
a.
X in there and make
Brixidin.
it part of what's going on with
Brixidin.
fucking.
What about
Like
Rubal
This
leaks?
is the Brixidin.
What about Rubal leaks? You
Rubal
got,
leaks?
you got
Brisk-
WikiLeaks, you got
Brisk
Rubal
blackball.
leaks.
Briskident sounds better.
Brisk.
though.
I'm down with
Brisk
Brisk. I can get down
The
with Brisk.
Brixidin.
Brisk leaks.
It's the Brixidin.
Brixidin.
It's the Brixidin because number one, we don't believe it's so severe to be fucking like out there on the fucking spectrum, and
Lulu wants to come
it's
on.
just
Lulu was on the show.
Don't let Lulu
I'm
in.
shutting up.
Go
Lulu
Lulu.
I'm shutting
always
up.
gets in.
I'm shutting
Hey,
up.
you
I'm
shut up.
shutting
Yep.
up.
Lulu's coming in.
Lulu's coming on.
Well, hold on.
You're
I have
done.
to give her the
That's
info.
it,
You're
like,
fired.
It'll take her a
minutes
second.
Nope.
Do you
Bring
think I
the-
had my Trump look tonight?
Bring the fucking
white
Lulu
shirt,
in.
blue jacket, red tie. I think I
You're
had my
good.
Trump look going on tonight.
Dude, you had a
His
fucking
name is
flag
I
Brisc
on
don't.
your
Rubal.
lapel.
I don't
That's all that
want to.
fucking
I don't want to
matters.
associate you with Trump.
I don't have orange face.
Yeah,
Don't
orange,
associate
I'm not
the
even
flag
close.
with Trump. Associate
His-
the flag
his name
with
is
true
Brisc Rubal.
Americans.
His name is Brisc Rubal.
His name
Back
is
on
Brisc
Trump.
Rubal.
I sent her the info. She's
When
gonna,
you
she's
say
gonna
it,
pop
you
in.
gotta shoot it. When you say it, you gotta shoot it, motherfuckers.
I did shoot it, you pussy.
Oh, I already have one part. Okay, now hold on. While we're waiting for Luna to come in, real quick, cool idea. Roommate at her work, they did this thing. They had all the, not just the big main characters, like all, even like Masande and Grey Worm and stuff. They all these still alive characters. It's
If
like
you
a,
say it,
it's like a Game of Thrones bracket, and you have to choose by the end of the season who's going to be dead or alive.
not the hot
and-
blonde. The hot blonde will
And
always be bent.
Daenerys.
hold on.
Daenerys.
And also,
Daenerys is gonna be bent over
Wait, Dirk,
right
Dirk.
at the end, and like, Dragon's gonna
Dirk,
be
hold on,
behind
Dirk,
her.
hold on. And you also have an
God.
optional
Dirk,
call.
you're just writing.
Fuck?
Dirk's
That is
just
so
writing his own
sexy.
fan fiction.
Hold
now.
on, let me finish.
It's like furry fan.
Let me finish. You have to have. There's also an option call of whether
Yeah, man, come on.
whether they turn into a white or not, and you have to choose that too. And the
I
white.
am
We
not,
should do
I
it.
am
We
not
should do
white-
like a
be able
Game
to
wait,
of
wait,
Thrones,
the white
like,
thing is
like
any of
March
them.
Madness.
Wait, the white thing is
But
important
do it.
because
fantasy
if you get
football
it
thing.
right, you get bonus points. If you get the white part wrong, even
Is
if you got the
Lulu
live
here
or
yet?
dead part right, if you get the white part wrong, you lose points. And at the very like we're all doing it around here, and we're gonna put in like a $5 pool,
When you
and then
when you say
have, like,
around
a-
here, do you mean like in the Coeur d'Alene area? Or
around these parts.
like at
Y'all.
at
Y'all.
diners, you're all like, but I'm this girl.
It's
in
the Fox
in the
says
fucking
you guys
film
are drunk,
room,
aren't
but
you?
not.
Yes, it's the Fox.
Y'all
Welcome to
got
Open
any more of
Comms, where we
those
talk
Game of
shit.
Thrones
So
brackets?
I don't like Chainsaw Planes. Like, where do I sign up? I don't like. We can't do a whole thing online. I don't know if I have time to set up. I don't know how to set it up.
Is this the fucking Des Moines area thing?
Des Moines.
I'm
You mean
sorry.
Des
I'm
Moines?
sorry.
Couple
I'm
weekends
sorry.
ago.
Des
It's
Moines.
Des Moines.
It's Des
Des
Moines.
Moines.
Des Moines is like
Des
you know,
Moines.
in real
I'm gonna
world,
fucking murder
like
you,
that
Dirk,
place that you
IRL.
live in, Drayden.
I hope I get
Yeah, yeah.
perma-banned for this threat right now. I'm gonna just
Reported.
like shank you in Toronto.
Hashtag reported.
No,
Oh my god,
that's
oh
a
my god,
threat.
Rain! I swear to God, if you fucking shank me,
Stop.
I
How
swear,
bad would
you and I
be?
are gonna fucking,
More
you're
offended
gonna
that I
hug
didn't
while
kill
I
you in
die
one
and
blow,
look right
or
in
would
your
you be more
eyes.
offended
But
that I tried
I'm
to
just
shank
I'm
giving
gonna
it.
look right in your eyes when you shake me.
All right,
baby.
hold on. I'm just throwing the idea out there
you? Is
because
this like slang for pegging?
I'm throwing the idea out there because if all you guys are watching
oh,
Game of Thrones
God.
What?
No.
Actually,
Okay,
because
we're moving on.
Because
We're
of my
moving
and
on.
you want to have a
because of my
game,
neck surgery that I
Oh
had,
You
my
can add that
God,
bracket.
I just had the
I can,
worst
I can
image
actually crane my neck
ever.
around and see you
ever.
with one eye.
I'm gonna go throw
While
up.
you're
I'm gonna go
pegging me.
throw the fuck up.
I've been actually wanting like Rain to actually fucking peg me because I didn't
Shut
know what
the
it was.
fuck
And, like
up,
I was just like,
No.
and I was just like,
Yeah, man,
you know what?
stop it.
I'm
Stop
willing to
it.
fucking go. I'm like, I'm willing to do this, and like apparently
Omae wa
it's happening in
Morisha
Toronto because
Doodoo.
I won the bet.
Okay, we can
Look,
Dirk,
none of you are gonna
Dirk,
be there,
Dirk,
so whatever.
just
Fucking
stop.
like show
Just
your fucking
stop.
asses out. Whatever.
Stop.
His
Stop.
name
Can we
was
go to
fucking
the
All right,
Brisc
this-
Rubal and
Cut the
fucking
stream, Brandon.
Lulu.
Whoa, hold on.
His
We are
name
this.
is
All
Brisc Rubal.
right, this is
His
the
name
last.
is Brisc
His
Rubal.
name is
His
Brisc
name is Brisc
Rubal.
Rubal and Lulu didn't show up.
No,
Whatever.
no, she's probably still
Her
downloading
and her
TeamSpeak.
crustacean fucking aquarium.
Shots to the road. His name was Brisc Rubal. We're going to the after show after this. Shots.
Number one, I love